Look at that. Oh my God. That brings me right back to my 5th birthday party. Come with me because we're about to make the iconic, the legendary Italian rum cake. If you're in your 50s, you know this was on your birthday table or any holiday table. Filled with chocolate, vanilla pastry cream, covered in a luscious whipped cream. You are going to faint when you eat this cake. I love sharing my recipes with you guys, but today I am super excited. I knew that I was making this today and I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited. If you are 50 or older, you are gonna know this dessert. And if you're not, you need to try it because everyone should try this at least once. If you grew up in the 70s and 80s, early 90s, and you were lucky enough to live near an Italian bakery, you know this cake. It was on every birthday table, every holiday table, and it is fantastic. It is a lost art. I am so sad you can't find this cake anywhere. I've looked, trust me. And if you do find it, it is not the same cake. Trust me. You need to make this recipe. I cannot stress this enough. Okay. In the bowl of my stand mixer, we're going to start off with adding 9 whole eggs that are at room temperature. And then we're going to add in 1 cup of sugar. And we are going to beat this together for at least 10 minutes until it is light, airy, pale yellow, and fluffy. So can you see how pale yellow, light, and airy we got our eggs? And it is almost quadrupled in volume. That's what we want because we're not making a yellow cake mix here. We're not making a traditional cake batter. We're making a sponge cake. So that's why we want the air to get incorporated into the eggs and the sugar because essentially that's our leavener. There's no baking powder, no baking soda. So once we're almost there, we're just going to add in a pinch of salt and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to let that go for 2 more minutes. So now we have our light, airy, see how it just ribbons onto itself? Now we're gonna get rid of the whisk. And I know when I started this video, I had my paddle attachment on. That is force of habit. But I caught myself and I took it off and I put the whisk on because that's how we're gonna incorporate all that air. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and we're gonna sift it in on top of the eggs, sugar, vanilla, and salt. Now we're gonna take a spatula and we're just gonna fold gently into the middle, out through the top, until all of our flour is incorporated into this batter. And the reason we're doing that is because we don't wanna lose all of the air that we just incorporated into the eggs. And every so often, you're just gonna turn the bowl into the middle, out through the top, in through the middle, out through the top. We're just gonna keep doing this until all the flour is incorporated, and then I'll show you the next steps. Isn't she gorgeous? So now I have 3 cake pans here that I sprayed with cooking spray, and I'm gonna take a cup of batter at a time and put it in each of the baking pans, because that's how I feel like you get the most accurate measurements per pan. If they're slightly off, it's not that big of a deal. But this is obviously going to be a 3-layer cake. So we have all of our baking pans filled. Do not bang them, do not shake them. We don't want to lose the air that we incorporated into the batter. So you're gonna see air bubbles, and that's exactly what you want. Again, this is a sponge cake. It's light, it's airy, it's bubbly. So we're gonna pop this in a 350-degree oven for about 18 to 22 minutes, or just until a toothpick comes out clean. So our cakes are in the oven. While that's happening, let's go over to the stove and start making the filling. Now the next step is to make our simple syrup. This is a rum cake after all, so we're making a rum simple syrup. And we're gonna pour it on top of the cake once it comes out of the oven. So I have 1 cup of water and 1/3 cup of light rum. You can use dark rum here, that's completely fine, but don't use like a Caribbean rum or Jamaican rum because that's gonna give it a completely different flavor and that's a completely different cake. If you don't want to use the alcohol, that's fine, even though it's going to cook off. You could put rum extract, but I can promise you it's not going to give it the same authentic flavor. And then we're just adding in a half a cup of sugar. And we're just going to put that over medium-high heat, and we're going to whisk it. And we just want to heat it until all of the sugar is dissolved. Then we're going to put it to the side, and we're going to let it cool. So our simple syrup is done. It's been simmering for about 2 minutes, so we're going to shut the heat. And then we're just going to pour it into a heat-proof bowl, and we're going to let it come to room temperature and cool down. Now we're going to start our vanilla pastry cream. So I have 2 cups of whole milk that I'm going to put in a pot, and I have half a cup of sugar, and I'm going to bring the milk just until it starts to steam and not boil, and then I'll show you the next step. And make sure you don't walk away from this, because if your milk gets away from you and it overflows or it overbubbles over the pot, you're going to have a big old mess to clean up. So while that's heating up, I have 5 egg yolks and a 1/4 cup of cornstarch that I'm going to mix together just until they're incorporated. Don't be like me and make a mess. Just make sure you get it well incorporated. You don't want any lumps, or you're going to have a lumpy pastry cream. Make sure you get all the sides, and that's what it should look like. So we're just going to put that to the side for a minute, and we're going to wait for our milk to start steaming. So now you can see the milk is starting to steam. So we want to take the egg yolk mixture that we made, and you just want to whisk the egg yolk and the warm milk a ladle or 2 at a time, just to temper the egg yolks, because we're not looking for scrambled eggs here. If we dump that straight into the hot steaming milk, that's exactly what would happen. Now I'm going to take another 2 ladles, pour it in, whisk it around, and now we're safe to add the tempered eggs into the steaming milk. Make sure you get it all out. Now you're just going to whisk this until it starts to thicken. And that happens pretty quickly, as you can see. So now we're going to cut the heat. I want to get a better whisk. So now we're going to cut the heat and remove it. And we're going to start in our vanilla extract. That's a teaspoon. And that is our vanilla pastry cream. So we're going to put this in a heat-proof bowl. We're going to put a piece of plastic wrap over it, and then we're going to move on to the next step. The last component is the chocolate pastry cream. So again, I'm starting off with the milk and the sugar, and I'm just going to whisk that together until it starts to steam. Again, don't walk away from it. I'm going to add in a pinch of salt just to bring out the chocolate flavor. And I did add a pinch of salt to the vanilla pastry cream as well. I just did that off camera. I forgot to tell you guys. So while that's steaming again, just like we did before, this time I have 3 egg yolks and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And we're just going to mix that together. Again, try not to make a mess with the cornstarch like me. Also to the egg yolks, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So I added my vanilla extract to my egg yolks, cocoa powder, and I'm just going to let that sit there for 1 minute. And our milk is just starting to steam. So again, just like before, I'm going to cut the heat, spoon in a ladle or 2 into the egg yolk mixture. Give that a whisk, just again to temper the egg yolks. 2 more ladles full. Now we're just going to add this whole mixture to the milk. Again, getting it all out. And then we're just going to whisk this until it starts to thicken. Just like the vanilla pastry cream, this comes together really quick, so you can see that it's starting to steam and become bubbly. Now we cut the heat. We take it off of the heat, and then we're going to add in 1 ounce of dark chocolate. I'm using a good quality dark chocolate chip. You can use bar chocolate, whatever, and just put it in there, and we're going to mix it all together until the chocolate chips are melted. I could jump in that pot right now. It looks so good. The chocolate chips are melted. That's what it looks like. Now we're just going to put that again in a heat-proof bowl, cover it with saran wrap so it doesn't form a skin, and then I'll show you the next step. So our cakes have come out of the oven. Look at this. They could not have been more perfect. They're all perfectly level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rum simple syrup that we made, and I'm just going to brush that over the tops of each layer. And I like to do this while the cake is still warm because it soaks in better and grabs all of that flavor. Now you can certainly do this, you know, as you're layering the cake together. But like I said, I like to give it some time as they cool to absorb all of that rum flavor. Last one. And be liberal here because you want it to soak in down into the cake. So now we're going to let these cool and then we're going to start assembling the cake, the best part. So now we're making the whipped cream to top the cake with. And I want to show you how I stabilize my cream. So in my bowl, I have 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese that's at room temperature. And I'm going to add to that about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And the mascarpone cheese is going to add that stability to the whipping cream that we need to make it stand up. And we're just going to whisk that together until it starts to form peaks. So once we have the mascarpone cheese all incorporated, I'm going to add in about a half a cup of powdered sugar. And then about 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Then I'm going to put it on low just to get the powdered sugar incorporated without making a mess. Then I'm going to throw a mop-peen over the hand mixer and I'm just going to let it go until stiff peaks form. Let's put this beauty together. Can you tell how excited I am? I can't. Oh, I just can't. Okay, so we're going to take our first layer. Use this just to loosen her up. And we want to put it face side down. And you get a perfect level. You could feel the rum in that. So now I put the whipped cream that we made in a piping bag. You don't have to do this. You can just use an offset spatula or a spoon. It doesn't matter. And I just like to make a ring around the perimeter of the cake just to ensure that our pastry cream doesn't come oozing out of the sides. So first we're going to start with the vanilla. And this is what I meant before when I said put a piece of saran wrap on top. You want it to be literally on top of it so it doesn't form a skin. And just peel that off. I'm just going to use our offset spatula. I'm going to put it right in the middle of that ring of whipped cream. You can add more, so start off slow. Get it all the way to the edge of the whipped cream. See that little bit in the bowl? That's for you because you work so hard. Now I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to wipe my spatula clean. Then I'm going to take the next layer of cake, again, face side down, right on top of that. Push it down ever so slightly. Then we're going to take our whipped cream again and make a little ring. Then we're going to take our chocolate pastry cream and repeat the process. All the way to the edge of the whipped cream. Again, last cake layer, right on top. Again, push it down ever so slightly. Is that not gorgeous already? I can't. Let me go wash my hands. I'll be right back. Now again, we want to wipe our offset spatula clean. Now, we're just going to take our whipped cream. And this does not have to be perfect because for one, you're going to see in a second, we're going to cover the sides. And for two, we're just trying to get a layer of the whipped cream on top of the whole cake. So, any way you feel, this is the way I like to do it. Then you just take your offset spatula, spoon, whatever you're using, and just go back and forth just to level it out. See, when you do it that way, you already have a even layer of whipped cream. So now you just want to push the whipped cream down the sides ever so slightly. Put that down for a second. And I'm just going to take the piping bag, and I want to do this so you can see it. And I'm just going to pipe lines going up the cake. Can you see that there, what I'm doing? Again, we're not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to cover the cake. I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to take my offset spatula, and I'm just going to go around the cake one time. This is what would be considered your crumb coat. So now you can see where you need more cream and where you don't. So start where you do, and if you have to, pipe more on. Now use your bowl and just clean off your spatula. And now we're just gonna, with even pressure, we're just gonna go across the top, and we're gonna try to make it as smooth as we can. Tell me that that does not look gorgeous already. We want to take a paper towel or whatever, and you want to just clean up the edges. And I'm going to show you why in a second. Not only because you want it to look nice and neat, right? You work this hard. It doesn't take any effort to wipe down your plate with a paper towel. So I want to show you a little trick. If you're extra like me, you could take a piece of parchment paper, lay it on top of the cake, and just use your hand to smooth out the whipped cream, and you won't have any of those lines. Slowly peel it off. Ta-da! Isn't that a great trick? Okay, so now remember I told you that the sides don't have to be perfect. That's because we're gonna take some toasted slivered almonds and we're gonna put them on the sides. So just take a handful, and you wanna make sure these are cool because you don't wanna put warm nuts on top of your whipped cream. And just pat them in. She's all done. Now again, we're just gonna take a paper towel and we're gonna clean up the sides. Now you have the leftover whipped cream, you might as well use it, right? So you can do whatever you want to the top of it. I'm just gonna make a little tiny border, pick it up, drag it, turn, drag it, pick it up, so on and so forth. If you're not comfortable doing that, it's fine. You could make little dollops, it doesn't matter. Look at that. Let's just put a dollop in the middle because I only have a little bit left. And then I'm gonna take the extra nuts and I'm just gonna sprinkle them all over. And there you have it. The iconic Italian rum cake. Now the best part, we have to cut it open, right? Do we really want to? It's so beautiful. Yes, we have to. Okay, let's cut her up and taste it. Look at that. Oh my God. That brings me right back to my 5th birthday party. That is insane. The texture of that cake is spot on. The flavor is immediate nostalgia. You have to make this cake. I am on a mission to bring back all of the goodies that are so far gone. It's sad. Help me spread this. Make sure you are following me. Make sure you hit the like, share, and save button. Help me pass this beauty of a cake along to other people. And if you want the recipe to my Italian rum cake, just comment the word recipe in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to send it to your DM.